Shine, come on in here. Happy Saturday. Come on in. We got to get into this morning. A lot of updates, changes. You know the usual. We'll get into it as I get my steps in. Gotta stay fit. Come on in. Double tap the screen, like the video, like, share, and subscribe. We're growing. Listen, we got to spread the word. We have to spread the word, so I'm going to let a good number of people come in before I start spreading the word. Because Trump, like, listen, Sheik, these numbers ain't numbering like they need to. So I need for you to spread the word. Listen, Trump says, Sheik, I need for you to spread the word because the numbers aren't numbering. We got goals. We got smart goals. Y'all remember them smart goals? At work, they tell you to create some smart goals. Trump says, Sheik, we got smart goals. And the numbers aren't numbering the way we need for them to. So I need for you to let the people know what the smart goals are. Come on in, double tap the screen, like the video. Let's talk about Trump and his administration's smart goals. They said, listen, we got KPIs for here. We got KPIs, we got smart goals. And y'all acting like y'all don't understand the message. Y'all acting like y'all don't know. You're going to F around and find out and end up without a job. Because that is what has happened. There are people who've been getting moved around because the numbers aren't numbering when it comes to these illegal immigration roundups. I'm telling y'all, they are not playing. They have set numbers. They have goals. Like I said, I call them smart goals. They have goals. There are certain numbers that they are trying to reach because of the number of just illegal immigrants just here in the U.S. They like, listen, we got to get to it in order to really make a dent and make some type of change during these 4 years while Trump is in office. Good morning. Double tap the screen. Good morning. I want to share with you all the goals that the Trump administration has as it pertains to these illegal immigration roundups. Some of you may have seen in the news as of late. Some of you may not, but it's okay. I'm going to share with you. Right now, the ICE, the Trump administration, they're out here heavy in these streets. They are showing up to job sites, restaurants, court appearances, appointments, things like that. Listen, they everywhere. Just yesterday in Florida, they went to a job site. So they went to I think they said it was the University of Florida. No, Florida State University, FSU, I think they said, Florida State University. So you all know, it's summer break for much of the U.S. Most of the schools, at least where I'm at on the East Coast, have already begun the summer break. So, a lot of times, summer break, you have projects, things that take place. You start working on things that you can't really get to during the school year. So housing is a struggle everywhere. It's never enough housing for these colleges. So they had about 200 workers working on the new building at FSU, Florida State University. And more than half of them, over 100 of them, were rounded up, meaning arrested by ICE. So that means this is Florida, you all. So that means in Florida, on this work site, more than 50% of the staff were undocumented workers, illegal immigrants. So guess what? They rounded them up. They hauled them off. What you call you? They put them in a paddy wagon. Listen, they put them in something, but they removed them from the site. It was about 200 workers. And they said over 100 of them were removed from the site, meaning they were arrested. So, child, I don't know what housing finna be looking like this fall, because I don't know how you finna get to building all these damn rooms with 20 people. Because it sounded like they was left with a good 20 of them on that job site. I'd have told y'all I started out with 200. They said more than over 100 of them was rounded up. So, yeah, it's going to be a situation in Florida when it comes to this housing, because they ain't got no workers. They do not have any workers. They didn't got rounded up. That was just in Florida. In San Diego, y'all know at restaurants anywhere you go in the USA, probably anywhere in the country, y'all know something about Friday nights. It just be on and popping on Friday nights. So ICE was like, oh, bet y'all be getting to it over here at this restaurant. Y'all be getting to it. Oh, you said they got a lot of Hispanic people working there at the restaurant. Oh, snap. All right, then we gonna be able to get some good numbers today. Y'all, them people, the ICE was waiting for them people to show up to work. Next thing you know, they couldn't even open up the business that night. Because listen, ICE beat the workers there. You know how somebody waiting on you, they didn't got to the job before you got to the job, before you even clock in, put your little apron or smock on. ICE was already waiting. ICE was already, y'all, laid out like in the cut waiting. Them people showed up to work. They didn't even have to go. Listen, people didn't even go inside the building, because ICE was already waiting for them on the outside. They just went ahead and said, all right, then just go on and come on over here with me. The owners them by 4:30, the owners them already had a sign up talking about, yeah, we will not be open for business. They didn't have no workers. It looks like the owners them were white people, because one of the ladies that was talking, she was a white woman. But she was like, yeah, like some of our workers, they got arrested. Who finna be back there cooking the refried beans? Karen, like, I don't got them know how to make refried beans. I don't know how to do that. What we finna do, y'all? People finna be down bad. ICE then took all the staff. They said, well, hell, you better switch it up. You better make you some goddamn burgers, fries, and hot dogs. You better get you one of them grills. Go get you one of them gas grills. Y'all just gonna have to change up y'all menu. Because if y'all needing a recipe from anybody in this paddy wagon, y'all SOL. Yeah, SOL. They are not playing. They are not playing. Let me tell you what else ICE is out here doing. Y'all, I promise you, I'm going to get to you. Let me see. ICE out here doing the absolute most. Some people are here for it, though. Some people are like, this is what we voted for. This is all right, then. Well, I'm telling y'all what y'all voted for was popping off, because it is on and popping. Primarily, a lot of these roundups, like these kind of pop-up roundups, like when it comes to the courts, have been taking place in, like, what I've been seeing is like on the West Coast. So California, there may be some, I might have heard about some in Texas, but listen, they're popping up. So the people, the illegal immigrants who are here, and they say, yo, like, okay, I came over here, however I came over here, but I regularly go to my appointments. They say, Sheik, you need to, they tell me I need to check in. So Sheik, I go check in. They say, go on Wednesday. I follow the instructions. They said, do this, I do that. Well, they banking on you following instructions, illegal immigrants, because when you show up, as you were told by your attorney, and the notice that you received in the mail, they're hauling you off, you and your kids. Don't think that just because you showing up with your babies, that's gonna have them to have mercy on you. Child, I watched, before I went on this live, I watched the ICE people. They rounded up the whole family, the entire family. They say, here, get your baby. Come on, we all getting in this paddy. I'm calling it a paddy wagon. We all getting in this paddy wagon. They rounded everybody up. I seen one clip, y'all, this week. The mama was so distraught. She done damn fell all out and broke down, crying, hooping, and hollering. Her child, her male son, I don't know what the freak he was saying, because he was speaking in Spanish. think he was a little boy, maybe 7, 8. He trying to console her to tell her so she can get her whole life all the way together. Because what do the baby do when mama then broke down? Listen, these people trying to put her in the paddy wagon. She done got all weak in the knees, then fell all out. Oh, y'all know how they say, well, you know, as black people, we learn somebody died. Oh, Lord, you know, we fall all. This woman then pulled one of them moves, y'all. And she wasn't no small frame woman either. She wasn't small. She had a little, you know, she was solid. Them people, them ICE workers were struggling to try to keep her ish together and pick her damn up so they can get her in the van. They like, listen, we need for you to fall out in the van. Can you fall out in the van? We can't, listen, man, we can't pick you up. Can you fall out in the van? Her baby, he trying to console her, saying all that he can say to help her because she done lost it. This woman done straight lost it. Attorneys. I've listened to a couple of attorneys, maybe about 4 different attorneys, male, female, white, Hispanic. They're like, yo, I'm not advising my clients to not show up to court. But what I am going to do is make it very clear to them of what's happening when they show up to court. Because when they show up to court, you're likely getting arrested because what's happening, you all. So let's just say you got a court date. They're like, all right, Sheik, I need for you to show up to court on June 1st. All right, then, yeah, you know, I take off work from my job. I'm showing up to court on June 1st. I get to court, and in that moment, I learn my appointment was canceled. So I'm like, okay. But here's the reason why it was canceled. Because ICE is here to round my ass up, y'all. This is, y'all see what I'm doing? So you get there, you take the time off of work. Some of them may got somebody to watch the kids. Some of them, like I said, the one whole family got hauled off in the paddy wagon. You basically come through because they say, hey, this is what you need to do to be in compliance because these people are out here on the wing and a prayer. They're like, I want to get citizenship. You saying I need to show up, I need to talk to the judge or whatever. Bet Sheik, I'm going to do that. I'm doing all of that. They get there. They're told your appointment was canceled. Next, they got people walking up on them, putting them in handcuffs, ready to haul them off. I done told y'all that woman who she done fell the hell out. Would you fall the hell out? Like, think about who, if you ain't expecting for somebody to roll up on you like that, and they did, and they got handcuffs, would you fall the hell out? I know the hell I would. I'd have told y'all her baby was... Mama, get the hell up, mama. You need to be strong for us. Get up. Y'all, I told y'all, she done fell out outside the paddy wagon. She done fall out getting in. Now, her ass, she done put her weight. You know how it's like your dead weight? She done got weak in the damn knees. She big, too, y'all. Y'all know them Hispanics, they be really thick with it. She thick with it. They like me. If you don't fall your ass out in this paddy wagon, I need you to fall out in the paddy wagon, not outside. I need you to get in the paddy wagon. Them ICE workers earn their check that day. They earn their check that day. They earn that check that day. This is what's happening, you all. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about why we're seeing it on this type of level. So here's the thing with that, what some of the attorneys were saying. They're like, yo, one attorney was like, listen, I'm going to start telling my people, listen, this is what's popping off when you show up. They gonna tell you your appointment is canceled and you're gonna get arrested. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not telling you not to come. I'm just saying that there is an option for you to do a Teams meeting, like a Teams appearance, like a virtual appearance. Y'all know sometimes people do a virtual appearance to court. The attorneys are saying there is that option. So what she's saying is what she's advising her clients is that, hey, you may want to explore that option because whether you're showing up with your babies or without your babies, they take it everybody. They don't care. They don't care. Oh, well, I got my 3 kids. All right, then. Well, let's let the whole, this finna be a family affair. This finna be a family affair. Everybody get in the paddy wagon. This is what's taking place Morning. This is what's taking place. So the attorney's like, listen, I'm just kind of painting a picture for my clients so they're not kind of shocked, because here it is. They're doing what they're supposed to do as far as them, because she said if they don't show up, that's like automatic. Okay, you not been able to be considered for citizenship. Like you messing up your chances altogether if you don't comply and show up to court. That makes sense, right? Because just with any other court date, if you're told you need to go to court, guess what? It will behoove you to show up to court, right? So you not thinking like only a dumb person thinking about not showing up to court. So that part makes sense. But outside of this whole illegal immigration situation, a lot of us aren't thinking that, okay, when we show up, some people, depending on what you did, you know that, okay, they might keep me. But in this situation like this, where these people are showing up for like check-ins where they illegally maybe came over. But here's the thing. When we talk about illegal, some of these people in this country are here, and the Biden administration are aware that they're here. So it's like everybody didn't just break through the borders, is what I'm saying. You have people who are here, and the government knows that they are here through whatever type of program. Those people will be here through like some type of program or something like that. So these are those people. These are just anybody who you do not have like your citizenship. He don't give a damn what Biden told you. He said Biden was old and see now. It don't matter. What he said, he didn't know what the hell he was saying. He didn't know what he was saying. So we not even finna hold you to what the hell he said. We throwing that out the window. Where your papers at? Where your documents at to show you now are a U.S. citizen? If you do not have that, then you got to get the hell out of here. This is the energy. This is the messaging that's going on. And it's very, very aggressive. Let's talk about why it's aggressive. Double tap the screen, y'all. It's 347 of you in here. I'm finna tell you, I'm getting to it in a way I promise you mainstream media ain't gonna get to it. And all this is fact. Anything I ever say on this channel, you can go fact check it. Now, the goal, when Trump took office in January, his goal, y'all, was to round up 1,800 illegal immigrants a day. Yes, I ain't pulling that number out my, that is real. Look it up. NBC News, look that ish up. 1,800 a day is the goal. They're nowhere near that. So guess what? Folks getting fired, folks getting moved around. Trump then already got pissed off because he pissed off at the numbers, because the numbers aren't numbering. Y'all, 1,800 a day. When I did my calculation, y'all, do your calculations. Do 1,800 times 365. That's what the freak I did. I ain't no math major, but I did that to get to some big ass number that's what, over 600,000 in a year. Over 600,000 in a year. In 365, if you do the 1,800 by 365, that is what his goal is. Y'all, guess what they rounded up last month for the month of April? I done told y'all what the goal is. So I think when I do it the 1,800, that should be around 50,000 a month. If we're going to get to around 650-ish, 650 for the year. April's numbers. We hear April's numbers. I'm going to tell y'all April's numbers. Double tap this screen, y'all. Don't be playing with me. Double tap this screen. We need to circulate this information because I am bringing it per usual. Welcome to my channel. If you're new over here, I'm Sheik. My channel is Sheik Speaks on it, and I speak on the damn thing, y'all. I speak on it. I deep dive, I do my research, and we talk about it. So if you want to be in the know, it will behoove you to subscribe to the channel. Ciao. Back to these damn numbers. April numbers, y'all, was 17,000. I done told y'all what the goal is. The goal is 1,800 per day. They were only at 17,000 for the month of April. So when y'all seeing all these mass roundup and you're like, oh, hell no. Oh, this is the new norm. This is the new norm because they have to play catch up. Remember, I done told y'all Trump them got these SMART goals, the KPIs, you know, these goals we be having on our job. Oh, Trump like shit. We got all that too. We got SMART goals and KPI, key performance in that. If you ain't meeting that KPI, you about to get the hell on. Trump, he done already moved around already 2 people over at the immigration, 2 ICE officials. He's already moving them around. Y'all even got their names. They said they wanted to be renamed anonymous, but Reuters are like, here they names. Oh, and by the way, they want to be anonymous. And I'm like, well, what the freak? I just wrote down the names and you following up with they want to be anonymous. Anyway, y'all, Trump is already moving around people at ICE because he like, do y'all not understand the assignment? Do y'all not understand the assignment? I told y'all when I took office that we needed to be rounding up 1,800 illegal immigrants a day. What the F is this? Why are we only averaging in the hundreds a day? Like, what is going on? What do you need to be put on a performance review? Like, what we need to do? A performance plan? Like, what are we doing? Because these numbers aren't numbering. Tom Homan, the border czar, y'all know that white man that they be standing on business? I was watching an interview with him. Y'all check out NBC News. These numbers I'm telling y'all, so where they came from. Tom Homan was like, I am very dissatisfied with where we are. He said, I have not been happy all year. These numbers aren't doing what they're supposed to do. We still got over 600,000 criminals, illegal aliens, criminals who are roaming the streets. I am very dissatisfied. And you know what? We have incorporated 1,000 groups. So y'all listen, I done told y'all what y'all seeing popping off and y'all think, oh, hell, oh, they tripping. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. He said it's going to be 1,000 groups. Y'all know how at church you got small groups? And they'll be like, all right, break off in your small groups. And you go find you a little small group and it's 6 of you all and y'all talk about Jesus or whatever. Okay, well, we about to have 1,000 of them and we finna be talking, and they finna be talking about how we finna get to it to go get these illegal immigrants. Listen, this is the new small group. This is the new church small group. 1,000 of them. 1,000 of them. Sporadic. So y'all finna see them all over because they got to get to the numbers everywhere. Your job site, some of y'all think about where you work at. And if you know that y'all got a heavy number of Hispanics there, just go ahead and know that, oh, eventually ICE will make their way there to start asking questions, asking all them questions. They gonna make their way there asking questions because they got to get to the numbers. They are so far off. Hey, peep this. Remember I told y'all that the April numbers was only 17,000. You bitch, only? What do you mean only? That's the biggest. Yes, but listen, that number is up 50% from what they were in February. Y'all see what I'm saying? So if you like chic, that's a lot of people. It's a lot, but it's not enough, according to the Trump administration and what their goals are, what their KPIs are, what their SMART goals are. It's not enough. They're behind. So they're from here on out, they're going to be taking a very aggressive approach to round up people. Because again, this is what he ran on. He said, I'm going to get this immigrant. And y'all, I voted for the man. When he talked about getting this immigration stuff under control, I'm like, yes, like, because it was out of control. But y'all, where I fell off the train is when I seen while he was having the black and brown ones exit stage left, the white ones was coming in the other door. They was coming in the back door. So you got the black and brown ones going out the front door. And then the white ones, those white South Africans coming through the back door. Y'all, he lost me there. Because my thing is, why is it okay for them to come, but the black and brown people have to leave or they can't come? You're saying the white ones coming through because they're being abused, knocked upside the head, getting 2 pieces and a biscuit. Okay, well, a lot of black and brown people have that same story as to why they are here. And it's on record, because remember I said not every immigrant or legal immigrant that's here, not all of them came through the borders. Some of them came through the government, through the Biden administration. Just like the white South Africans came through the Trump administrations. What the freak is the difference? What's the difference between the ones, because there's a lot of them, that came through the Biden administration for reasons centered around how they were being treated back home? Okay, so remember, Biden let a lot of people in who said they were being mistreated. The living conditions was poor back home. So he said, okay, you could come over here for however long he said you can come over. There's that. Well, Trump is saying, okay, well, the white South Africans, they're over here because they're being mistreated. They're being unalived. They're having their land taken away from them. So that's why they're coming over there. What the freak is the difference? Both groups of people are saying, yo, I got struggles over here in my homeland. I got struggles over here in my homeland. So that's why I want to come to U.S. The difference to me is just the skin tone. The difference to me is, okay, I'm willing to hear one group of people cries, but I'm not willing to hear another group of people cries. Yes, he's getting white illegal, but I'm talking specifically about the white South Africans that he's bringing over here. He's literally bringing them over here for the same reasoning that a lot of the black and brown ones were brought over here when they were brought over here during the Biden administration. That's the part I'm trying to understand. What is the difference? What's the difference? When he got in the office and he said, hey, we're just not going to accept any because, listen, we on our Tasha K, we ain't got it, we can't afford it. I was here for that. Y'all talk about we got this $33,000 trillion deficit, this debt. You're saying, hey, we can't afford to take care of anybody else. I was with that. He was right. But what I came to see or came to learn that the anybody else was black and brown people. And how I came to that conclusion is when he started letting the white South Africans in. So I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't you just say we ain't got it? You said we ain't got it. You said the states can't afford to be feeding and housing these people. We ain't got it, so we can't bring these people in. Bet we don't have it. But then fast forward to May, suddenly we got it. Oh, well, we got a few dollars. We got a few dollars. We can let them come in. We got a little bit. We got a little bit. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay. So you can go find a little change, the money for the ones that look like you, but the ones that look like me or the Hispanics, we ain't got it. We on our Tasha K. We ain't got it. That's all I'm saying. So that, yeah, Eric, I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm an equal opportunist person. So my whole thing has always been, let's be right across the board. If you say we ain't got it, that means to everybody, we ain't got it. But you can't say to me or Maria or Carlos, we ain't got it. But to Henry and Karen, all right then, well, we got it this month. We got it this month. Okay, well, thank you. I thought y'all didn't have it. Oh, don't worry about what I said. I just had to say, yeah, that don't apply to you. You come over here. We'll make something happen for you. That's that ish I'm talking about. That's when I got off the train, because you playing right now is blatant. It's blatant. I don't know what other way to slice it and dice it. It's very evident that it's race-centered. So that's when I got off the train. That's when I got off, because you're not moving in a fair way, and it's very evident. It's very evident. So for those of you who happen to fall in the category of being an illegal immigrant or got loved ones who fall in that category, spread the word. The goal is $1,800 a day. Tom Homan said that they, right now going forward, they are what do you call that? We in grinding mode. They are in grinding mode. Like they just about to they was like, let me see the exact words he said, you all. Let me see exactly what Border Caesar Holman said. Tom Holman. What'd he say? He said, April, there were 17,000 people deported. That's up more than 50% from the deportations in February. He also said, it's not enough. I'm not satisfied. I haven't been satisfied all year long. He said, we got 600,000 criminals walking the streets in the country, and we need to get them out. He says, we're going to have over 1,000 teams on the streets. We are putting more targeting on this. How do you interpret that? How do you interpret that? We're putting more targeting on this. Oh, y'all want to know who lost their job? The people who want to be anonymous who lost their job? Let me tell y'all who lost their job. Because I had already learned that some people lost their job, I think, early in the week. Let me tell y'all who lost their job. You can go look this up. This is on Reuters, Reuters.com. They said the Trump administration is removing 2 senior immigration enforcement officials due to poor performance with the ICE roundups. The White House is demanding a sharp increase in arrests of migrants in the U.S. illegally. The senior agents that were removed, their names are Kenneth Janalo and Robert Hammer. They are requesting for anonymity due to discuss this shift. But Kenneth Janalo and Robert Hammer, they were senior agents that have been removed. They were being removed from their position. It seems like right now, I guess the Trump administration is willing to still try to keep them on payroll, to kind of move them around, to do something else. But the leadership role that they were in, that's done. He's like, you're not cutting it. You acting like you don't understand what I told you back in January. I'm not quite sure where you were confused at, but I told you what I needed to have done. And you all acknowledge, whether it be verbally or in writing, your understanding of what the mission was. Y'all know, just like on any job, they tell you, hey, these are the numbers. This is what we need to do. This is the plan with how we're going to get to these numbers. Y'all know that's just work. Remember, that's why I'm calling it KPIs, SMART goals, things like that, because these are discussions that you have on your job. What's the mission? What's the goals for the quarter? What's the goals for the year? So Trump's like, yo, y'all knew what type of time I was on. You agreed because you still been here. And I'm seeing what the numbers looking like, and they're not numbering the way I need for them to number. So we got to move. We need to move you around. And this is what's happening, you all. It's happening. Double tap the screen, you all. I'm just providing the information that's out there. I'm sharing it in a way that you're not going to get it like this. If you go digging, you can probably, you'll be able to find everything that I'm saying out there, but the news isn't really putting it out there like how I'm putting it out here. So I'm putting it out here to make it very plain and clear so you guys can understand what's going on. You have an understanding of what it is that you're seeing, why you're seeing it in the manner in which you're seeing. Why is it so aggressive? Because they are behind the 8 ball. They're behind the 8 ball. They're like, we ran on, okay, we're going to remove these illegal immigrants, and we just haven't even scraped the surface. Now, I've been wondering, well, here's the thing. Y'all know this week he got approval to remove over 500,000 of them. Y'all, soon with as aggressive as they're with as aggressive as they're doing with the roundup, we're going to see it and feel it. There's no way, because there's a lot of illegal immigrants that are here. Just like Florida State University. Y'all, they went and rounded them people up yesterday on their job sites. Some people showed up to work on building the housing building, the new residential building at FSU. There were at least about 200 workers, and over 100 of them were arrested by ICE. That's just one building site, you all. That's just one. Florida. Ron DeSantis have already said multiple times that Florida is the primary spot that when illegal immigrants come into the U.S., that's the place they're trying to go to. That's like the promised land for the illegal immigrants. They trying to get to Miami. Welcome to Miami. I don't know if they done seen all the bad boy movies or whatever, but they trying to get to Miami. So they have a lot. They have more there than they do in like other states, because that's their final destination. That's just where they want to go. So he's like, listen, he's calling it a success with these mass roundups. But here's the thing. Some of y'all may be wondering, okay, well, Ron, why you getting happy with all these illegal immigrants getting rounded up and leaving your state? Who's going to do the jobs? Ron said these kids. Y'all know, maybe you don't know. You better follow my channel. Ron has signed an executive order to now allow for children age 14 and above to work overnight shift. Y'all know that third shift that use a lot of time pay you a little few extra coins, but you still ain't really kind of trying to sign up for that shift because you need to sleep and be up and ready for your part-time job. Your full-time primary job. Ron said, no worries, I got something for you. We finna allow the babies to be able to work. Look it up. Ron signed this executive order. He did this probably, let me see, he probably did this maybe in April. It's probably April. And y'all remember when you was a kid? I know when I was a kid, like you couldn't work past like 9 or 10 o'clock, like if you were a student. I remember like I worked like my whole high school experience. I worked a part-time job. So I remember having to be off the clock by a certain time because of my age. I think it was maybe around 9 or 10 or something like that p.m. I'm in Georgia, by the way. I'm from California, but I moved to Georgia when I was around like 15 years old. So Ron DeSantis was like, yo, okay, so apparently that was like a law that was in place. You know, your states will have laws centered around the hours of how people, adults and how children can work. So he changed it for his state and said that I think it's starting at 14 for children age 14 and up. If your parents are good with it, it is now legal for the child to work overnight. The child can work overnight. So doing whatever they gonna be doing, it's just wherever they gonna work, they're able to work overnight and be, I guess, up and ready for school in time the next day. I don't know how that's supposed to pan out, but that is what he implemented. And I'm pretty sure the reason why he did that is because he knows with the labor force, it's going to take a big hit because of the roundups of all the illegal immigrants. So a lot of people have been wondering, well, Sheik, who's going to do the jobs? Who's going to take care of the hotels and be at these restaurants or be in the stores, stocking, doing all these things? And that's why Ron said, okay, now your babies can do it. Well, Ron, it's against the law. They can't work past certain. Oh, no. Susan, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm going to make some changes. Matter of fact, I've made the changes. Little Tommy is able to work overnight now. If that's what needs to take place and you need more money, little Tommy is able to do more than just go to school. He's able to help you out. He's able to help you out. I've changed the law to where now he will be able to legally work overnight. So if you want to sign off for him to work a job wherever and work third shift, that's up to you. That's you and your family to decide. What I'm saying is that it's no longer illegal for him or her to be able to do that. Heavy Duty said, who gonna clean my house? Right, I guess the 14-year-olds finna be doing a lot. I guess they finna be cooking, cleaning, babysitting. They finna be waiting till they finna be doing everything. I'm telling y'all. Now this has already been signed into law. The situation with the kids working overnight, that's like already a thing. So you probably already got some kids who are already on the clock somewhere in the wee hours doing Lord knows what. for y'all, and y'all know they paying these kids chump change, because hell, adults can't even get a real decent pay. So you know they gonna really get over on the kids. It's just a sad situation. It's sad. It's sad. But I will say it is out of control because of the previous administration with how they allowed for people to come over here in the way they did. So yes, I want to admit it is out of control. But at the same time, it's so out of control that nobody right now need to be able to be coming over here, not only people who look a certain way or coming from a certain region. You see what I'm saying? I don't think it should be that. It should be no for everybody. That's my thing. It should be no for everybody. So, I done told y'all the information about immigration. Trump said, listen, if you ain't happy about the immigration part, what about the part about me increasing steel, the tariffs on steel to 50%? Will that make you happy? Help me help you. Will that make you happy? Because come June 4th, I believe that's the date, 50% tariff on all steel, aluminum imports. Trump said nobody is exempt. Nobody. He says no one is exempt from these tariffs. 50% tariffs on the steel and aluminum entering into the U.S. come June 4th. June 4th. So what type of impact do you all believe? What type of impact do you all see there being as a result of that? So a lot of these vehicles, these automakers, things like that, like they do business with other countries, Canada, Mexico, whoever. Y'all look at Trump. Let me tell y'all, look, Trump then went from, okay, earlier this week, they revoking the whole tariff things and saying, okay, you can't do that. I talked about on this channel, the 3 judges unanimously voted against this whole tariff thing and how he moving. They said, you can't do that. One of the judges actually was one that he actually had put into place. So they're federal judges. So they're like, you can't do that. Child. In less than 24 hours later, okay, all right, okay, fine. You can do it. Okay, you can do it for now. So then Trump is like, okay, well, hell, that's what I thought. And wow, you now acknowledging that I can do this. Let me go ahead and up the ante and add another 25% on the steel tariff. Y'all see? This man went from them snatching it completely away, them giving it back, and then him even going harder in the paint on the tariffs. Can't make this issue. So it's a lot of people, and they feeling center around like the steel workers. So what he announced it yesterday, and he was in front of, like, he was in the room with like a bunch of workers. They had their work clothes on, and they were happy because that's more jobs for them, you know? So that's a win for them. They're happy. More work, because the whole thing is, hey, companies, you need to figure it out. You need to move, you know, get your steel, your aluminum from here within the U.S. Otherwise, you're going to be down bad, because all imports, you're going to have to, you having a 50% markup on whatever you're paying. So you're going to pay whatever you got to pay. And then he's going to be like, add 50% on top of that. Starting June 4th. You can get it. You can get it. You can get it. So you see what I'm saying when I talk about being an equal opportunist? When it comes to the tariffs, he has that energy of being an equal opportunist. But not when it comes to immigrations. That's the part I'm talking about, because he clearly knows how to be equal, because he made a point in his little speech about the steel, like nobody getting around it. Okay, so what happened to nobody getting around this whole immigration thing situation when you came into office? That's what I'm saying. Like, what we doing here? What we doing here? Either they can come or they can't. Either they pay the tariff on the steel or they don't. So he's like, yo, everybody getting hit with the steel tariff. Okay, So I'm like, my thing is, all right, just be fair across the board. Don't cherry pick on, okay, it'll apply to you, but it's not going to apply to you. That's the part I don't like. So that's why I can't even like rock with him on that type of level anymore, because I see what he's doing. With some things, with most of the things, you're being an equal opportunist and you're like everybody getting this energy, getting this work across the board. But when it comes to this immigration stuff, no. Everybody except for the white South Africans. And there's a lot of them that's wanting to come over to the U.S. They're just waiting for the opportunity to be able to come over. So it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time before they will be over here. It's a matter of time before they will be over here. So just get ready. Get ready. So the way I look at it is these resources, the savings and things that DOGE found and all of that, it's not really a savings. It's just, okay, someone else is now utilizing the resources. The black and brown people just aren't going to utilize them. White people will just utilize them. So the resources are still, so what are we doing? We're still not doing much with the debt, because you're just shifting the face of the people who are heavily benefiting from the resources. So that's what's going on in the U.S. world news. That's what's going on. It's about talking about the blatant of what's taking place when it comes to who the rules apply to versus who they don't. That's what it's about. And I'm talking about it. And that's the thing. A lot of times people don't want to talk about the obvious, but that's the obvious. It's very blatant that it's race-based. It's very blatant. I done told y'all the same reason why he's saying the white South Africans can come over is the same reason why many black and brown people were coming over here, or why the Biden administration let them over here. So what's the difference? Both groups of people were claiming that they were in distress. What is the difference? Why one group of people distress outweighs another group of people's distress? That's not fair. Why is that? Even white people are saying that it's race-based. Y'all know that there's this white church, church group that helps refugees. They're like, we're not helping these white South Africans because we know they're not real refugees. They lying. These are no refugees. We're not utilizing our resources. We're not helping. We know it's just because they're white, y'all. This is on record. So even the white folks saying that. So this ain't the black person saying what it's people with common sense who are not in denial, who are recognizing what the freak is going on, are saying it. It's obvious. It's like obvious. The white man said, listen, I don't care about these federal funds that they was giving our church or whatever, to help out refugees or whatever. If they're classifying them as refugees and telling us that we can't help these other people who are true refugees, but we can help them, then we want no part of the program. These white folks have bailed out of the program. They're like, nope, forget it. You can have your money. We'll sell fish plates, spaghetti plates, church plates, whatever. We'll raise the money. But we're not going to play this game with you and act like a thing isn't a thing because of our skin tone, because my skin tone matches your skin tone and the skin tone of the people that come over here. We see what's going on, Trump. We see what's going on. We see, like, it's obvious. Give justification of any other way as to why it's not, like, why it's acceptable for the white South Africans to come, but the black and brown ones are told to exit stage left. Make it make sense. The last engineer said illegal immigrants are not refugees. They are criminals who entered the U.S. illegally. Yeah. I mean, illegal immigrants aren't refugees, but in a lot, like I said, a lot of the these people who are over here, who are being classified underneath the illegal immigrant status, they came over here through the Trump administration, meaning they were like put on planes and came over here, just like the white South Africans were put on planes and came over here. So everyone didn't come through the border. But if you do not have citizenship, regardless of how you came over here, Trump and his administration are like, yo, you need to leave. Okay, no problem with that. I'm here for that. I voted in support of him getting this ish under control. But why is it a different memo for white South Africans? Why is it different? It's that for me. Why is it different? Why is it different for them? They still need our resources. You all, those people coming over, and you can look into it. They're getting like stipend, like money, like $1,200 a month. They're getting paid. They're getting money. So you get a check. They're getting housing, food, items for their babies, like everything that a lot of like the black and brown people were like, a lot of them were getting when they were here. The white South Africans are able to get it. And they're supposed to be viewed as being different because Trump himself put the stamp on it and said, well, they're really getting, taken advantage of and unalived and all of that. First of all, I don't believe that. But anyway, let's just say if we went with that, that is the story of other people as well who come from other parts of the world where they're getting unalived, they're getting kidnapped, terrorized. That's their story too. So again, what is the difference? What's the difference? That shouldn't be happening to anyone. So, okay, if you're reasoning for saying, okay, if things like that is happening, then you can come into our country, then okay, well, the people who are already here who were saying that was happening to them, where they came from, should be able to stay. That's all I'm saying. Make it make sense. You have to be fair. You got to be fair. And he's not being fair. But one thing he is being fair about is these tariffs, the steel tariffs and aluminum tariffs. He's saying nobody exempt from getting around that when they, if they're importing goods, if goods are coming into our U.S. So he's been fair about that. He's been fair about that and saying you can get the 50% tariff. You can get the 50% tariff. So he knows what fair is. It's just about when he wants to use it. And he doesn't want to apply fairness when it comes to the situation with the illegal immigrants that are here in the U.S. And these people know it's not fair too. They see it playing out too. This biasness, what I'm speaking on. I'm not, y'all don't try to play like I'm the only one who see this as a whole situation. There's people out there. I just have a platform and I speak on it in the way that I do, which is why thousands of people come through on any given live to hear what the hell I'm damn talking about, because I'm speaking on the things that a lot of people aren't speaking on, and they're not going as in depth as I go in over here, because I don't care. Like, I'm not bought and paid for. I don't work for a major network, so I don't have to only speak a certain way. No, I do my research, and it's something, and I bring it out here and we talk about it. Just like we're talking about immigration, we're talking about the tariffs, like that's what I do over here. But there are a lot of people who have these concerns and who have questions. I mean, it's just effed up. it's things are just real effed up right now. And they say, it's on record that, Trump's approval rating is up over 50% or whatever. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all believe that. Do y'all believe that right now with everything going on, the approval rating, his approval rating is above, his approval rating is above 50%. Let me know if you believe it. Like, after everything we done talked about, we got these tariffs, we got the illegal immigration, mass roundups, very aggressive. Do you think all of this makes sense for his approval rating to be above 50%? We got people who's fearful of their businesses shutting down. Y'all, that's why, remember, like I said, like earlier this week, they had, for a hot minute, revoked his ability to implement these tariffs. Because there were maybe about 12 states, you all, that came together. Like, it was like 12 states that like filed a lawsuit against Trump. To like 12 states. think they probably were all like Democrat states, but it's 12 states. And also within the states, there were like small businesses that came together that filed a lawsuit. And they were like, yo, like with the way these tariffs are going, like, I'm not going to be able to keep my business going. Like, I'm not going to be able to keep my business going. Because with the tariffs going up and down, I can't afford that, and then also having to pay my staff. Like the doors to my business is going to close. And that's what had, the judges, they went ahead and, they temporarily stopped the tariff, but y'all, it wasn't even a full, like, they gave the decision, the night of maybe Tuesday, and by Wednesday night or something like that, by Wednesday or Thursday, it was like back into place. Like it was just so fast. Everything just got reversed so quickly, which we've seen with Trump. Like with judges, they get pissed off at him. They go crying, complaining to somebody, and then they'll make a decision to appease them, and then it get reversed because Trump team, they come back and then they complain. Y'all, it's just back and forth. It was just, to me, right now, the U.S. is not giving stability. I wonder what other nations think about us when they watch the news and see what's going on here. Because to me, it's not giving stability with how everything just keeps fluctuating. Taco. I just finally learned what that means, because it's like he's constantly flip-flopping, and it's just like, how do you operate your business? How can you operate your business when the decision maker is constantly kind of going back and forth? Y'all, I want to know, how long y'all think this 50% tariff gonna be? Because we see that just as quick as Trump announces things, he changes his mind. He changes his mind. So how long y'all think the 50% tariff is going to be in place? Because June 4th is when it's supposed to take effect. Let's talk about how long it's going to last, how long it's going to be in effect. Starting June 4th is when it's supposed to take effect. Keeping in mind that he changes his mind a lot. For whatever reason he gives, it's the people talk about, well, he's doing this. Okay, regardless of whatever his reason is, the point of the matter is he changes his mind, which he has that right to. But what many of us Americans we're looking at is the frequency of how it happens, how often it happens. It's fine somebody changes their mind, but when it becomes an issue is when you're seeing them doing it excessively. So now you start to kind of lose faith, like, okay, well, this person is always changing their mind, so I can't get comfortable and get excited or too excited about what he's saying today on Saturday, because based on history, come Tuesday, it can be something completely different. How do you run a business like that when you're depending on a person's decision and for them to stand on it? It's not realistic. So I can understand, for those who run a business, I can understand their concerns. How do you budget? How do you plan against, like, with something like that? If you're saying, okay, for planning purposes, I have to factor in my budget 10% tariffs. Okay, fine. We're now about to go into June. I'm planning. Okay, I'm fitting this in my budget. Then right after you got them close the Excel app, you shut down the laptop, you kick back and you relax. You done got your doggone financials, everything planned out. He come across your screen that he done changed his mind and he done moved them damn tariffs to 25%. What the freak? Then you got to get them go back and open up the damn laptop and redo. That is not fair for somebody, and it's not realistic for somebody to constantly have to operate their business in that manner. Like, that's just not something anybody should have to do. How do you plan financially around a person who's constantly changing their mind and their decisions impacts your bottom line as far as how much money you're going to have to pay out? You need something. You need to be able to, you need somebody that's going to say, all right, then, Sheik, this is where we're going to be at. We got these tariffs. It's going to be 10%. Bet. Plan your business around this. This is what we're going to be. At best, if it changes, it's going to go down. It's not going to go up. Okay, so therefore, if there is a change to your financials, it's going to be for the betterment, because the number would go down, not go up. So we're like, okay, we're good with that scenario. But when you're trying to run a business and the likelihood of with the number changing, it going up, and that's pretty much kind of like the norm of the change, that's not good. That's not good. This will definitely put a lot of people out of business. That's why I'm saying, y'all, realistically, whether you roll with Trump or not, how long do you think this 50% tariff situation is going to be in effect? It takes effect June 4th. Let's put time. Listen, how long? Y'all put in the chat. How long y'all think it's going to last? Factoring in his decision making. Because he always say it with his chest. How long y'all think these are going to 50% tariff on all? Remember, also, when I'm putting this bet, I'm asking you, because right now it's 50% on all imports. So he said everybody. So when I talk about how long it's going to take before it change, I want you all also to factor in countries, people being able to be removed, like exempt from it, just any change to it. Because y'all know he'll throw something out, and then we'll start to hear, okay, well, it's not going to apply to this company or this country. It's not going to, this is what I'm talking about. How long will it be before we see it change? Because right now, it's everybody can get this work when it comes to the steel tariff. It's everybody. As of today, as of right now, it's everybody. It's no like exemptions that I saw being on record. How long will it take before we start to see the exemptions? Before we start to see the percentage change from 50 to a different number, whether it goes up or whether it goes down? How long will it take? Because this man is known for changing it up. And I remember when he first got in, and I would talk about on my channel, for those of you who've been rocking me for a minute, I would say Trump stands on business, what he says, he means this is that. Y'all, I don't say that no more, because he don't stand on business anymore. That's not, he's the complete opposite right now. Because we're constantly seeing him change his mind. And then Caroline got to get up there and try to damn explain, do some splaining as to why he's changed his mind. And she up there damn looking crazy and catching the attitude, because people trying to get some type of response or understanding from her, because it's her job to be up there to talk about it. So then she gets in her feelings when somebody want to ask her questions about it. Okay, well, lady, the boss changes his mind all the time. So these are fair questions. How do we believe in what he's saying or doing if we're constantly seeing him change? How does that put ease to the American people mind when it comes to the leadership of our country, when our leader is constantly moving the goalposts, changing? You need consistency, just like with parenting, raising your child. They need to be able to see consistency. That's how you can get the trust. That's how you get trust in people, when they see that you're consistent. Think about it, you all. Do you rock with people, or do you feel a way when you see that a person is just inconsistent? Like, it's annoying. No one wants to deal with somebody who's inconsistent, whether it's a relationship, a company. I need some consistency around here. We doing too much. We're doing too much. Like, we need consistency. And that's just, I think, just a basic human thing, that people just like consistency. And that's not what I feel like our country right now is giving. It's not giving consistency. And we're not even, we're just approaching close to like a 6-month mark. And we're here, and everything is always kind of flip-flopping. It's just not a good look for our nation. I'm just saying. We've definitely seen better days. We've definitely seen better days. But this is where we are. This is what we got. This is what we got to work with. I come out here to explain the background as far as with the Trump administration, what they put out, as far as the reasoning behind, the things that we see going on. So depending on the topic, I'll come to you with just the information that's being put out there surrounding the topic. Whether I'm here for it or not, I just share the information and allow for you all to be in the comments to give your opinion as to what's going on out here. You know, you're free. Just do it respectfully, because everyone has an opinion, and I understand that. And everyone's opinion don't line up with mine's don't line up with theirs. That's never the goal or the intent. What I do, I just come on my channel and just talk, give my opinion, because it's my channel. I have the ability to do that. And then I allow for you all to, you know, engage in the chat and share your thoughts and opinions. That's just what it's about. Just, you know, getting it out there, getting it out. Because I know not all platforms welcome opinions that are different than the host, than theirs. My platform isn't like that. My mods know, as long as you're respectful, you know, you can, you know, say what you have to say. It's just being respectful is what they say. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So it's that. So, you know, just let me know your thoughts. I will be completing my walk soon. I'll get to my house and I'll be able to really get into the comments and read them, because it's with the glare on the phone. It's hard to read the comments when I'm walking. But definitely drop a comment. Become a member, become a political honor student. I have memberships on this channel for $2.99. We got the Temu price, $2.99, and that gives you priority with comments being read. Your name shows up in color, all of that. Super chats, if you want to do that for however much, however little, that also shows in color as well, and it pops, and you know, I can more easily see your comment. Liking the video, sharing, just any type of support I appreciate over here on my platform. I go live most days. I usually go live maybe about 5 to 6 days a week. I have 2 channels on this channel. I go live and I talk about just all the political changes taking place in the USA, the impacts that it may be having on the world, because not what we do over here, it impacts other parts of the world as well. I am in Georgia. Sometimes in my conversations, I will insert things centered around mental health. My background is in clinical mental health counseling. I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. So sometimes, you know, I'll insert things about that. I have a second channel, Chic Speaks. So over there, I talk about like other just non-political things, like as of late, P. Diddy and his trial and things like that. I've been talking about that heavy on the Chic Speaks channel. So this is kind of more political type channel over here, but for like all other things, other shenanigans, I'll talk about it on my second channel, which was once my bigger, larger channel. This one has outgrown that channel. But they're both channels that I discuss, just, you know, provide my opinions on what's going on in the world. And I allow for you to welcome you all to come over there and talk your talk. Let me know your thoughts on whatever the topic is, just respectfully. And yeah, we just get to it. We have good times on any of my platforms, because I welcome just, you know, all thoughts and opinions regarding the topic, you know, regarding whatever the topic is. So check me out. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. Both channels are growing channels, and liking the video helps to circulate it in the algorithm so the message can be spread. Because like I said, on my channel, you may have come to notice, like, I deliver things very differently than a lot of other content creators, but this is just how I do it. I give my opinion. I have no problem giving my opinion, and it may be an unfavorable opinion, but it's my opinion, and this is what I do over here on my platform. Instead of going to other people's platforms and just doing the absolute most because I have a different opinion, I don't do that. I just go live on my platform and share my opinion. I stay in my lane. And that's just how I move. You know, I'm a respectful person, and I just look for others to do the same. And just respect my space as I respect other people's space. But I move around. I listen to all kinds of different content. People who are for Trump, people who aren't, people who are indifferent. Like, I listen, because I want to just hear what just the different people just have to say about what's going on. People have just different opinions. So I'm not going to just listen to one network who just has they just, oh, I just don't like him, so everything you hear is just gonna be negative. I don't do that. I listen to Fox News, I listen to CNN, I listen to MSNBC, like you all, I'm all over. And as I'm listening to these different platforms, I'm listening out to see if there's anything that's anything that's kind of similar that's been said across the platforms as far as how people are feeling about the moves that Trump is making. And it seems like among all the platforms, when it comes to like the Big Beautiful Bill Act, people are concerned about the monies that's been spent. They're concerned about the impact on Social Security. And y'all, this is regardless of what political party people are a part of or what network. Like, people are concerned about Medicaid. Like Democrats, Republican, like everybody's concerned about that. And even with right now, we're waiting for the last vote for the Big Beautiful Bill Act to be passed. It has to be passed by the Senate. And it's been said that there's Republicans who have concerns about the way the Big Beautiful Bill Act is written. So it's likely that it's not going to get passed as is. There'll have to be some changes made to it in order for it to be passed. Right now, the goal they're working towards is for the Big Beautiful Bill Act to be passed by July 4th. So by the next holiday. Remember, the goal was for this past holiday, Memorial Day, to have, I guess, the House pass it, which they accomplished that. Now there's one more vote, which would be the Senate. And the goal was for the next following holiday, was that Independence Day, 4th of July. The goal is to have the bill passed by that date. But many believe it may not be passed by that date. But at best, if at least passed by the end of the month, by the end of July. By the end of July. If it could at least pass before July is out. But it's looking like they're going to probably have to make some changes, in particular to Medicaid. It's like that's just an area that a lot of people are concerned about, the Medicaid. The working requirements centered around those who would qualify for Medicaid. Yeah. And based on these changes, it'll remove a lot of people from being able to qualify from it. So that's a big concern for a lot of people. There are a lot of people in the U.S. who rely on Medicaid today. And so it has their attention. And then there's people who have loved ones who rely on Medicaid. So they're speaking up for their loved ones and are like, listen, we're not here for the way it's written out as far as the requirements for being able to qualify for the Medicaid. These working conditions that you're saying they will have to meet in order to qualify for Medicaid. Just with the changes to Medicaid, it will remove a lot of people from being eligible for it. So right there, that is where I suppose the Trump administration is looking for savings to be because of that. But it's also said that as the way the bill is written right now, it's going to add, which I'll say the Trump administration is denying, but people are saying that as it's written right now, the Big Beautiful Bill Act will increase it will increase the debt number that we have. Like, we're at what, 33 trillion, I think. So they're saying it'll increase it by like 3 trillion, and like over time, maybe over by around 10 years, 9 years, it'll probably increase it by like 9 trillion. So basically they're like, this Big Beautiful Bill Act does not have us going in the right direction. It doesn't have us going in the right direction. Caroline said that's a lie. She said that is a lie. Caroline said they are bold-faced lie. It ain't increasing. It is not increasing the debt. Y'all, if y'all want to get into the Big Beautiful Bill Act, you can find it on the internet. I brought it up before on one of my lives. It's 1,116 pages. So if you got time and you can go through it. You can get into what that says. I've seen some of, I'm familiar with some things in the Big Beautiful Bill Act, but I ain't gonna hold you. I have not tried to go through the whole thing. I've looked at it, but it's just so long. It's just like, okay, where are we starting at? Because it's just a lot. It's a lot. But if you're able to, check it out. Check out the Big Beautiful Bill Act. It does, have a table of contents if you do want to go to specific areas. You can. But Elon said that it's some bull. Elon said the Big Beautiful Bill Act is going against all him and his team's efforts. And he pissed off, and all y'all can go to hell. That's the energy at least I picked up from Elon. Elon's like, I am very disappointed. He did say he was disappointed. He was like, I'm disappointed because it goes against what we at DOGE, like what we were doing. Like we were trying to save money, and the Big Beautiful Bill Act he finds to be just, I guess there to be wasteful spending, and he's just not here for it. So he was like, deuces. He's like, I'm gone. And let me get my laptop. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I wanted to get my laptop because, listen, Elon said he got them taking his ball, his key. They going to hell home. He said, I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. But y'all, he ain't leaving. Y'all know, so Elon showed up. He showed up with just him and his son, little X. But that ain't how Elon leaving. Elon leaving with somebody else. Let's see who Elon leaving with. Let's see who Elon leaving with, y'all. What is this person's name? Give me a minute. Let me find it. What is her name? Okay. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get her name. Here we go. Katie Miller. Y'all aware that Stephen Miller's wife, Katie, thanks for that. Y'all, Katie said, oh, you leaving too, Elon? I'm going with you. Listen, I'm like, damn, did Elon still Trey Songz nickname Mr. Celia Girl? Elon, y'all, it's the reason why Elon got all these kids out here. I'm just gonna let that sit there. Some of y'all wonder how he got all them kids. Elon gets to it. Elon is Mr. Steal Your Girl. Elon gets to it, y'all. Katie Miller said, I'm going to. I know we still in our honeymoon phase in our marriage, but goddammit, I'm going to. I'm going with Elon. Katie Miller, the wife of Stephen Miller, former top advisor to Trump, has left her position as advisor and spokesperson for the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, to work with Elon Musk full-time. Why y'all think she leaving to go with Elon, y'all? Why she leaving to go with Elon? Let me find out Elon making it do what it do, y'all. Let me find out Elon is making it do what it do. Elon said, listen, you see how many kids I got? Like, they ain't just dropping out of thin air. They ain't just dropping out of thin air. Oh, okay, Elon, what you working with, Elon? Elon, what you working with? We trying to see something. What you got, Elon? What you got, Elon? What you got? We trying to see something. We try to see something. Katie like, when you know, you know. Elon apparently working with more than what Stephen Miller is working with. Because she's saying, you know what, Elon, you leaving, I'm damn going with you. I am going with you. Sure did. She says, we going together. Wait for me. Little X, tell your daddy to wait for me. I'm coming too. Tell him, let me get my bags. I got to get my makeup and stuff. Tell him, don't drive the damn car off without me. X, tell your daddy to just hold his wheels to park. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. X, get in your little car seat. Get your sippy cup and your cookies. Because stepmama on her way. I'm on my way. That's, to me, I feel like how it went with Katie. Like, fuck that. You leaving? Oh, I'm leaving too. I'm leaving with the bag. I'm leaving with the bag. She says, tech billionaire Elon Musk has made his exit from the federal government, and it appears he has taken one of President Trump's top aides with him, the wife of Stephen Miller. One of Trump's top aides has reportedly left the White House to work for Elon Musk. Katie is following Elon from the White House back to the private sector as the tech billionaire has officially left his post in Washington, D.C. Kate Miller was working as an advisor for Musk's Department of Efficiency, but now that the mogul's time in D.C. is up, she's working for him full-time, CNN has reported. Sources told the network that Katie Miller has been taking lead on communications, including arranging Musk interviews in connection with SpaceX Starship launch. So how y'all think that conversation went between Katie and her husband, Stephen, when she told him, yeah, by the way, yeah, Elon's leaving tomorrow. Okay, I'm leaving too. Like, what do you say? Like, y'all think about it. Like, how do y'all think that conversation went between the Millers? So we hear Elon leaving. And so Stephen's talking to his wife, Katie. Yeah, Elon's leaving, Yeah, but we made some good work. And then at what point do Katie insert, I'm going to? Like, where? When do she wait to let him pause? He go get him something to drink. Like in between bites as he's eating something and he's just there having dinner. Like, what is the most appropriate time to say, I'm going to? That's what I want to know. Because this right here. She shared content on her X account from Musk's interview at SpaceX's Starspace in Texas, and a quote from him about how DOGE is the way of life, like Buddhism. Her new duties can include booking his media appearances for Tesla and SpaceX, one source confirmed. So, do the Millers still stay together as husband and wife? Like I'm trying to understand. Listen, y'all, these are genuine questions. I'm trying to understand. So, Stephen Miller is one of Trump's top aides. Okay, bet. Stephen Miller's wife, Katie Miller, leaves the White House to go work for Elon full time. Do you still go home and sleep together in the same bed? I'm just trying to understand, like, when she get home from work, is she coming back to the same house? Is she still cooking dinner? Do she still call him to say, hey, honey, I'll be home late because me and Elon, we got to go. We got this meeting to go talk about SpaceX. I'm trying to understand because there's some different type of ish going on. When I tell you this administration right here is on some other type of time, on some days of our lives type time, young and the restless, as Trump world turns, like, y'all, this, you can't make this ish up. Like, you cannot make this ish up. Interesting. Musk officially announced his departure from White House Wednesday after his 130-day term as a special government employee came to an end this week. Katie Miller was also considered a special government employee, which enables private sector individuals to work for the government for a limited number of days. So they both were temporary. But here's the thing. Just because they both were temporary, it doesn't mean that Katie has to go and work full time for Musk. Remember, Musk on his way out basically had some words to say about how Trump has been moving. He said he's disappointed. Like, Elon left in his feelings. That's the thing. It wasn't like, okay, we seen him on camera having a kumbaya, dapping hands, hugging each other. No. Elon was in his feelings, y'all, when he left. It wasn't on no type of, he left. The energy wasn't the same as it was when he joined. Let's just say that. It wasn't the same energy. Elon was in his feelings when he left. Go out there and look at him talking about the Big Beautiful Bill Act and how he feels about it and how it goes against his efforts. Common sense lets you know if somebody then worked hard on something and then somebody go and do some shit that's counter to what they did, they gonna feel a certain type of way. Like, that's just common. That's like a no-brainer. It's written all over his face when he's talking about it. He kind of got an attitude about it. Because he like, damn, I didn't let my goddamn business go to the shits. He lost money, even though he still got a lot of money. Nobody still wants to lose money, right? You're in the business to make money, not lose money. So he lost money. His branding just tanked. So then, fast forward to now with the Big Beautiful Bill and the way it's written, he's like, damn, this shit is going against what I was here doing. When I decided to just risk it all and put it all on the table, set it aside so I can come do this. And this is what we're doing. This is going against what I was here to do. Hell yeah, this man is in his feelings. Like, you got to pay attention to it. Like, what? Read the room. Read the room. He does not have to outright come out and say, F you, Trump. I can't believe. Pay attention to. Sometimes it's not. You got to listen to what's not being said. The body, like, you got to listen to all of that. This man is not happy with how Trump is moving. He's not happy. So yes, he was a temporary employee and the woman is a temporary employee. But just because Kate was a temporary employee don't mean she had to go work for Elon. There's other places she could work. Don't mean she had to go work for him. And then we already know that he is in his feelings he is in his feelings with how things have panned out when it comes to just the savings. It's almost like, okay, he saved how much? Let me see how much they say he saved. It's in the billions. Let me see what was the savings. Because Elon's like, yo, we saved this money, but the way you're finding ways to spend it, that's just dumb. Let me see. Let's save with DOGE. Let's see what it says. He saved about 175 billion in taxpayer spending. Yeah, so about 175 billion. The goal was to reach $1 trillion. It didn't happen, but there was a savings. There was a savings nonetheless. But he's like, listen, like this savings, like, let me see. Hold on. Let me get my charger. I'll be back. All right, we back. So I don't want my phone to die. I want to get into some things because Elon's like, listen, I didn't took one for the team. I didn't took one for the team. And you talking about this is what we about to do with this money? This is what we about to do? Y'all, this man is leaving with an entire attitude. And just because Katie's job was temporary, don't mean that she has to go and work for Elon Musk. That's what I'm saying. It don't mean she got to go work for him. It does not mean there's other jobs. She does not have to work for Elon Musk. So I think it's just going to be very interesting at the Millers with her working for Elon. Because Elon is in his feelings right now. He's not happy with the Trump administration right now as it pertains to this big, beautiful Bill Act. Trump's initial plan, he thought, no, Elon Musk, he was confident, he was ambitious. He felt like they could save $1 trillion from cuts, $1 trillion as the government cost cuts, but it didn't happen. It did not happen. It didn't happen. So yeah, Elon's not feeling the best as he's leaving. You all can get into and listen, watch, go out there. You can see if you haven't seen it already. The interviews he's done, talking about his departure, but he's not happy. He's not happy. He's not leaving feeling good. It's not a happy departure. And Trump, he's been questioned. Him and Caroline both have been questioned about Elon's remarks about the Big Beautiful Bill Act, and they've kept it cute. I think that they're intentionally not wanting to say anything that will piss Elon off, because they know Elon will go on X in a minute and with the Twitter fingers and go in. So they're just keeping it cute, sticking to, well, the Big Beautiful Bill Act. We're really standing by it. Like, they're just kind of, I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. They don't want to ruffle any feathers, but insiders say that, yeah, the Trump administration, they're not feeling the remarks and things that Elon has been on record of saying. But Elon, like, I'm gonna say what I want to say. Who gonna check me, boo? Like, what? I'm leaving anyway. What you want to say? What you got to say? I got time today, cuz that's the energy that Elon has. So still, with just using some type of common sense, Katie, the wife, Stephen Miller's wife, going to work for Elon, while Elon is in his feelings about the Trump administration and how he's gone on record of expressing that does kind of shake things up at the Miller's house, I would say. I would say that would shake things up at the Millers. I'm just saying. It makes sense to me that it'll kind of shake things up. But that's where she's going. That is where she's going. So it'd be interesting to kind of see how that all pans out, and if Elon will go back on record with making any more comments pertaining to the Trump administration. Because you all remember, there was a time Elon and Trump wasn't like BFFs. They weren't BFFs. There was a time when Trump was like side-eyeing electric vehicles. He was like, who want an electric vehicle? Like, it wasn't always like this with those two guys. Like, it wasn't. And it evolved into that. But I'm curious to see if it'll go back to kind of the distance, because they both have their own platforms. Elon now is just going back into his world with Tesla, whatever. Trump, the politician. So it will be interesting over the 4-year term if, like, Elon and Trump will still kind of come off as though they're best buds. Or if Elon will, be on record with saying some things that aren't favorable for Trump, the Trump administration. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be different. I just feel like going forward with Elon, he's vocal. He doesn't hold back. But I feel like he's going to express himself and how he's feeling about the Trump administration and the things that they're doing, and what he's here for and what he's not, especially now that he's no longer going, there. Like, he's gone already. So right now he can say whatever, but I think he's going to be talking. I feel like he's going to be talking some more. As long as Trump don't say anything sideways to have him kind of upset, I think it'll be just based on just opinions of things. It won't be like any information or things, that he's aware of with telling business and things like that. But I think Trump knows that. He knows that he got to tread lightly with Elon, because Elon knows, like, the inside stuff. You know how you got that person that worked with you and they know all the business, so you don't want to piss them off, like how Diddy pissed Cassie off and she just aired it all out. You know what I'm saying? I'll be seeing in the trial. If y'all know what I'm talking about, you can follow me on my other channel, She Speaks, and I'll explain what I mean by all of that. But what I'm saying is that a lot of times we may be connected to someone, and then they know a lot of our business or how we move. And then when things go left between us, you and that person, then it's just like, oh, snap. I hope that they don't just go out here and just tell everything. Let me just try to keep it cool, not really ruffle any feathers like that, because I don't want, I know they know information that I don't want people to be aware of. So you kind of got to tread lightly. And I feel like with the Trump administration, with the White House, that's what they're doing with Elon. They're treading very lightly. What's up, Rolena? They're treading very lightly because they know, Elon knows, Elon knows, like, the inside, like this money, like where it's going. Like, Elon knows, and he ain't came out with the details, but I don't see him being above it if he get, like, pissed off. So, so far, Trump, they haven't really said anything negative on record about him. So I think that's by design, because y'all know Trump will say whatever. He has no problem holding back. But I noticed with Elon, he has not kind of gone in and really been opinionated about Elon's comments like he would for somebody else. And I think that's by design. He know Elon crazy. He know Elon just as crazy as him. He know Elon is crazy. So he like, let me just go ahead and let him quietly exit. Let me just leave him alone because he crazy. And I think that's why. That's why he's not saying it. I think that's why. But it's just only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, I think, before Elon will start kind of sharing some information that he was privy to. But who knows what type of agreements and things that he have. I would imagine, I guess there maybe been some NDAs and things signed. But I think, Elon, we'll hear more from him in regards to his opinions centered around the Trump administration. And yeah, I don't think he's done talking. I don't think he's done talking. I don't think he's done talking. But the question I do have for you all in here, please like the video. We got 98 likes. 2 more and we'll have 100 likes. Do you all think that Elon will be able to make up for the monetary loss of Tesla? Do you think that he'll be able to recoup? Let's see how much money he's lost. Do you think he'll be able to recoup his losses over time? I mean, I don't know if over time, like, what do you think? Or do you think like, nah? Let me see. The stock right now is 300. Their stock right now, Tesla stock is $346.46 right now. In 2025, Tesla faced significant losses, including a steep decline in stock value, a decrease in net income, and a drop in sales. Specifically, the stock has lost over a third of its value. Net income fell 53% year over year, and free cash flow declined 18%. According to Yahoo Finance, the company also experienced a 13% drop in quarterly deliveries, the weakest in nearly 3 years. So y'all can't tell me this man ain't damn pissed off at this big beautiful bill. I done told y'all what the losses was. This man pissed off. He is pissed off. The stock has lost over a third of its value. Net income fell 53% year over year. Like, do y'all think that he can make up for, like, what y'all think? Now that he's back fully in the game with working, handling his business, do you all think that Tesla will get back to where it was as far as its notoriety, the popularity, the money it was getting to? Do you all think it's going to get back there now that he's left the White House? Tesla stock plummeted over 50% since December 2024. Cody, you say he mitigated loss with OpenAI. What else is saying? Elon Musk's net worth has also been significantly impacted by the stock's decline, losing over $121 billion in 2025. $121 billion just in 2025. As far as sales and revenue, you say you have this same necklace. Tesla sales are falling in both Europe and China, according to CNN. Automotive revenue plunged 20% from the year earlier, and that's according to CNBC. Tesla's first quarter earnings reported missed Wall Street estimates, according to CNBC. So this man has taken a lot of L's. Tim, you say he had hedges on Tesla. Other factors, investor concerns and market volatility are contributing to the stock's decline. Protests against Elon Musk's political views are also impacting the company's brand and sales. Increased competition from other electrical vehicle manufacturers, especially in China, is another factor. So this man got his work cut out for him. He has his work cut out for him. So he took a major loss when he decided to, head DOGE, which was his decision. That's his decision. But I believe that right now he's sitting in whether or not it was worthwhile or not based off of how Trump is moving right now. Because I feel like he feels like, okay, Trump understood the sacrifice he was making. So Trump isn't going to do anything that show that just wasn't worthwhile. But with the big, beautiful bill, Elon feels like that is exactly what he did. The money, the savings, the things that we did, the things that we talked about, this big, beautiful bill is going against that. Tim says you can make money on declines and gains. Yes. Like, I don't know. Listen, I mean, I'm not the billionaire. I'm just trying to understand. I mean, he's going to make more money. I'm just wondering if he'll make up for the loss. Like, will he be able to get out of, like, this slump, like, where things are... I'm just wanting to know, is he going to get back to where he was before he joined the Trump administration? Like, will he, like, the popularity, the branding, like, will he get back there? Or is that just done? Like, any of you all, like, were you someone who just did not support Tesla? Or maybe you did before he did, headed DOGE or started DOGE? Are you going back to being a Elon Musk supporter, a Tesla supporter? Like, where do you go from here now that he's leaving? So that's what I'm wondering. Like, will people have the mindset of like, okay, now that he's left politics and he's going back to focus on his vehicles or whatever he got going on, we'll go back to rocking with him? Is this like the mindset that people are going to have? Like, what happens here? Or are people just forever like gone? They're like, I just don't mess with him no more ever again. RS wife said, yes, Tesla isn't it. Some places are forced to have Starlink. My car has Starlink, not an option. So, according to Reuters, Tesla investors brace for another year of sales decline as Musk backlash grows. So this was an article from April 4th, 2025. They're like, there's still a decline. Diana said there are Chinese companies that are directly competing very successfully for the electrical vehicle market. Just Google it. Plus, the Cybertruck cost Tesla major losses because of the poor constructions. You're right, Diane. I've gone into like that a live before, where I went into like the competition, the names of the vehicles, and all of that. So you are right. I've covered it before over here. Hopefully you're subscribed to the channel. But we've deep dived into that because Tesla have been taking an L for a little minute now. They've been taking an L for a while now. So I've been talking about it back when, when the cars were being set on fire, like all of that. I've been covering all of this since like February on this channel Believe it or not, back in February, this channel had like 500 subscribers. So I've been talking politics, and people come through and share the information, and we just, we get to it. We talk about it. And Tesla does have competition. And you're in China. They have this EV vehicle that's supposed to be really nice and really giving Tesla a run for their money. RS wife said Tesla sells all over the world, my guy. It's not just in America. You got that right. Tesla everywhere. China, Canada. Like, Tesla is all over. It's not just here. Tom says, Diane, not in the U.S. They are not, and not by law. We are the biggest consumer of all the products in the world. So they need to maybe bust out into the bigger markets to become one. But Tesla, so you're saying, Tom, that of all the electrical vehicles, Tesla is, are you saying that they're the bigger ones? They're selling them. Tesla is the most widely known electric vehicle. So I would say because of that, right now, like, they have, the most sales, the biggest popularity. But there are other electric vehicles that are coming on the scene that where there are good reviews on them. But as far as here in the U.S., I know other makes have tried to come out with their electric vehicles, and it just didn't land. I talked about it. Was it Hyundai? One of these cars, they maybe it was Hyundai. One of these makes, they tried to do electric vehicle, and it didn't do nothing. It didn't do nothing. So it didn't work for everyone the way it worked for Tesla. Yeah, so let's see. Tesla stock ends a wonderful May with a loss. Let me see. Some of these websites is making me have to pay to get the real deal, the details of it. Let me see. Let's see if I can find one that's going to allow for us to get the tea without signing up for something. Okay. So what we got, Elon Musk lost staggering amount of money in 2025 so far. Here's how much. When the newest president of U.S. was sworn in, billionaire Tesla founder Elon Musk rejoiced at the vote. Quote, "This is what victory feels like," he said at the time. "I'm super fired up for the future. One of the most American values that I love is optimism." So this is what's Elon's sentiments at the time that Trump got into office. 100 days later, though, Musk was feeling the sting of the America's choice for his choice. According to Forbes, Musk lost the most money of any billionaire in 2025. So of all the billionaires, which I've talked about it too before, because there's multiple billionaires who've taken L's. Who else? The Facebook. Who else? What's his name? Y'all know what's the I listed them all, like the billionaires, and the amount of loss that they took. Bezos, Zuckerberg, that's what I was thinking. Like, they all took major L's, but they're saying, according to Forbes, Musk lost the most money of any billionaire in 2025 by a wide margin, nearly 11 billion more than the next closest loser. According to Forbes, Musk lost $45.3 billion so far this year. And this article was dated May 2nd. But remember, he was so excited. He was excited. Listen, a lot of us was excited, child. Yes, Trump 2025. Like, no one has been hit harder than Musk, who is 45 billion poorer than he was on Trump's second inauguration day. Musk has taken to feuding with the president's tariff hawk Peter Navarro on social media. He said he will step back from leading the Department of Government Efficiency and has had to refocus on his electric car Tesla after tariff fears and Musk's increasingly unpopular political efforts have sent the stock crashing 33%. Fellow tech billionaire Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Larry Ellison of Oracle, and Google billionaires Larry Page and Sergey Brin rounded out the top 5 biggest losers, with all four losing at least $25 billion. You know your money long when you can lose in the billions and you still ain't having to go and apply for Section 8 and EBT. That's when you know you get into it. Your L's is in the billions and you still got more than everybody else. That's when you know. That is when you know. While they were losing billions, the Oracle of Omaha was busy getting rich. Warren Buffett reportedly stashed a record $334 billion of Berkshire Hathaway's money in cash and cash equivalents, which helped push stocks up 13%, adding nearly $20 billion to his net worth. So everybody wasn't taking the L. Warren Buffett wasn't taking the L. Warren Buffett was going up while Elon was going down. Y'all see? And like I say, regardless of what your bank account look like, we are all in the business to make money, not lose money. So even though these people was losing money in the billions, they was still feeling it. Because nobody trying to look at their bank account and see it go this way, especially in large numbers. That's just not what you do. Business 101. You need to move around if that's what's happening. You need to make some adjustments, which a lot of companies have done this year. They've just been making some shifts. It's crazy, yo. What are they saying? Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is feeling the impact. Coca-Cola. So this announcement came April 29. Coca-Cola makes big announcement after Pepsi's bad news. Y'all, everybody, ain't nobody exempt from this work. Everybody can get it. Pepsi company continues to suffer bad news after losing its number 2 spot behind Coca-Cola, losing out to Dr. Pepper in 2024. That's my drink, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper has distinguished itself through an effective marketing campaign that emphasizes unique flavors and individuality. Fast forward a few months, and Pepsi delivered more bad news following the tariffs handed out across the globe by the White House earlier this month. Following the institution of the tariffs, Pepsi, which makes its concentrate for the U.S. distribution in Ireland, later lowered its full-year earnings expectations. We factored in what we know about tariffs today, and we factored in mitigation plans. Pepsi Company Chief Financial Officer Jamie Caulfield said Thursday in a conference call with investors, some of those will be able to execute more quickly. Some of those will take more time to execute. While Pepsi struggles with the tariffs put in place by the U.S., rivals like Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper, which makes concentrate for the North American market in St. Louis and Ireland, have both affirmed their full-year earnings guidance. On Tuesday, April 29th, Coca-Cola announced it beat Wall Street's quarterly earnings and revenue estimates while largely reaffirming its full-year outlook. The company claimed it expected the effects of global trade conflicts to be manageable while revealing expected organic revenue growth of 5 to 6% in 2025. While costs like aluminum could rise in the event of a trade war, it has, 50%. A lot of companies rely on getting their aluminum, their steel from outside the U.S. While costs, so this is April 29th, you all, so we're about to jump into June 4th, 50% tariff on all imports for steel and aluminum. While costs like aluminum could rise in the event of a trade war, Coca-Cola said its operations are primarily local, with most of its secret recipe made in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I'm at. And the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico. So, yeah, a lot of people are going to get hit with this. Let me see. That's going to get hit hard with this 50% increase, because Coca-Cola, they're like, well, listen, like, we do a lot here in the U.S., so we should be fine, but that's not everybody's story. Let's see. Let's see. The EU prepared to impose counter master measures after Trump doubled steel tariffs to 50%. Let the war begin. Let it begin. EU prepared to impose. So this is the CNBC. CNBC, EU prepared to impose countermeasures after Trump doubled steel tariffs to 50%. The EU on Saturday criticized President Trump's move to double tariffs on steel imports. So that's today, warning that it undermines efforts to reach a negotiated solution in the ongoing trade war. So they're like, okay, what the free? We was just on the phone talking about how we about to get to it together. We finna get to the money together. Yeah, you done hung up and put in a plan to increase the tariffs from what we was just talking about. Oh, okay. They said, we strongly regret the announced increase of U.S. tariffs on steel imports from 25% to 50%, an EU spokesperson said in a statement to NBC News. This decision adds further uncertainty to the global economy and increases costs for consumers and businesses on both sides of the Atlantic, the spokesperson continued. Child. The spokesperson added that the EU's prepared to impose countermeasures, including in response to the latest U.S. tariff increase. Trump on Friday announced that he planned on doubling tariffs on steel imports to 50% from 25%, increasing the pressure on manufacturers dependent on industrial metals for production. Y'all let me know, are y'all here for the 50% increase, that 50% tariffs for steel and metal imports? Because listen, the people who work in that industry here in the U.S., they was all excited. When I saw the little clip of Trump talking, they was excited. Let me see. Maybe let me try to find. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what this man said. All right, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all something. President Trump announced his plan to double steel tariffs to 50%. So, y'all, he just did this like last night.
But he's great. He's great at what he does. We are going to be imposing a 25% increase. We're going to bring it from 25% to 50%, the tariffs on steel into the United States of America, which will even further secure the steel industry in the United States. Nobody's going to get around that. So we're bringing it up from 25%. We're doubling it to 50%. And that's a loophole. And by the way, I have to tell you, I believe that this group of people that just made this investments right now are very happy, because that means that nobody's going to be able to steal your industry. It's at 25%, they can sort of get over that fence. At 50%, they can no longer get over the fence. So congratulations to everybody and to you for making a great deal. You just made a better deal, right? I said to the group, would you rather have a 40% increase? Because I was thinking about 40 when I came. I said, would you rather have a 40% or a 50%? They said, we'll take 50. I said I had a feeling you were going to say that. So congratulations. Also congratulations to Dave, because you got this whole thing started. Congratulations. Great job. Great job. The people here understand the word tariff, and you understand it better than the people on Wall Street. But now the people on Wall Street are finding out. They're saying, wow, you know, Trump was right. You saw today they had an announcer, Joe Kiernan, CNBC, Maria Bartiromo, who's so fantastic on Fox Business. And they were saying, you know, Trump was right. Look at these numbers. The numbers got released today at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it showed no inflation and tremendous income jumps for workers and for the people of our country. And they go, wow, he was right. He was right. But you knew that. You knew that before Wall Street. The workers knew that. We don't want America's future to be built with shoddy steel from Shanghai. We want it built with the strength and the pride of Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh steel, it's U.S. steel, and it's going to be something even more special when you get all that billions of dollars of new equipment that they're going to be investing right here. Billions and billions of dollars. Since I opposed our steel tariffs, and you know, I said that tariff to me is the most beautiful word in the dictionary. I love the word so much. I've always loved it. For 40 years, I've loved it. For 40 years, I didn't understand why people weren't in this country using tariff. They use tariffs to kill us. They use tariffs to take our businesses, not only steal, other businesses too. And we never knew how to use tariffs back, because we had people in the White House that either didn't care or weren't very smart, or both. And it really starts with the White House. It's very simple. It starts with the White House. But I said...
So there you go. 50% tariffs here come June 4th. So that would be what, next week? My question is how long it's gonna last, because y'all know this man is good for changing his mind. That's all I'm saying. Like he changes his mind all the time. How long will they last before we hear that it's switched from 50% to another percentage, or this country got to pay it, this one don't have to pay it, this company can get exempt from it? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So let's get back to this article. So right now, let me show y'all. This is what I'm looking at right now. Right now, I'm looking at this article right here. So this is where this information is coming from, where we were at. So as we just saw, Trump on Friday announced that he planned on doubling tariffs on steel imports to 50% from 25%, increasing the pressure on the manufacturers dependent on industrial metals for production. The new import duties are set to go into effect June 4th. June 4th, that's the day, D-Day. His announcements made at a rally at the U.S. Steel in Pennsylvania came after the president signaled earlier this month that he would approve a controversial deal between Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel. Trump highlighted an agreement between Nippon and U.S. Steel during the Friday rally, but said that the deal was not yet final. He said that there will be no layoffs and no outsourcing whatsoever due to the deal. The EU, which said that it had paused its countermeasures against the U.S. on April 14th to allow time and space for negotiations, and said it's prepared to instate those measures if no mutually acceptable solution is reached. The European Commission is currently finalizing consultations on expanded countermeasures, the spokesperson said. If no mutually acceptable solution is reached, both existing and additional EU measures will automatically take effect on July 14th or earlier if circumstances require. The U.S. Steelworkers Union, USW, also criticized Trump's announcement and said it is a direct attack on Canadian industries and workers. My. Thousands of Canadian jobs are on the line, and communities that rely on steel and aluminum are being put at risk. Canada needs to respond immediately, incisively, to defend workers. Lord Jesus. Tim, you say he changing minds, not negotiations. He changing minds, not negotiations. Let's see if Canada, let me see if Canada has done a response to the latest 50% increase on tariffs. Canada's response. Let's see if they responded, since Canada's name has gotten inserted into the chat. Let's see. We about to see something. Y'all like the video. We hanging out today. Happy Saturday. Let's see. Tariff revenues rise sharply in Canada after retaliations against Trump. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. I found this. Let's see. Y'all, we getting into some things. Y'all like the video. Come on. Let's get it. We got time today, cuz let's see what they saying. Canada joblessness hit 6.9%. Any Canadians in the chat? Okay, let's start.
Certainly there are tariffs imposed on Canada as well. What does this jobs report tell us about the trade war as Canada is feeling it?
Yeah, it tells us that the tariffs are really starting to have an effect. We saw that job losses were pretty broad in areas like manufacturing and wholesale trade, the stuff that is most sensitive to that shipment of goods across the U.S. and Canada borders. Some of this we already knew about because Stellantis, the big automaker, had temporarily shut down a plant it's got in Ontario kind of right after the auto tariffs, right around the time that the auto tariffs came in from the Trump administration. So, we have seen a gathering of problems in the Canadian private sector, but this jobs report really does sort of emphasize the point that the trade war and the level of tariffs is a problem, and real people are losing their jobs because of it.
Absolutely. Of course, the politics in Canada have been fairly fluid. We did get the Labour Party winning, and of course, Mark Carney as a prime minister. To what extent did that have any impact on the job market in April?
It actually made the job market temporarily look better because the elections agency that runs the vote had to hire thousands of temporary workers to run advanced polls, look after voting lists, and then handle things on the day of the election, which was right at the end of the month. So without that little temporary boost that's created by the economic activity of the election, we might well have seen job losses. We're now in a situation where private sector employment is fallen in the last 2 months at a rate we really have not seen in recent years outside of the COVID period.
All right, good stuff. Thank you for putting that into context here. And it's so interesting that the election did at least temporarily provide a bump in jobs. What does this all mean in terms of the outlook for where rates are headed? The Bank of Canada, of course, met in mid-April. The next meeting is in early June. And if job losses are happening now and the outlook isn't great, where does that leave the central bank?
Yeah, we've seen just today, as a result of that poor jobs report, a bump up in traders' expectations that there will be a rate cut in June. Previously, the expectation of the market, and certainly of economists, is that the Bank of Canada will be on pause. They're waiting to see how things play out. They're waiting to see the inflation picture. Of course, tariffs are at least likely somewhat inflationary in the short term. But this has, if not entirely changed the game for the Bank of Canada, has certainly increase the odds that they will be debating cut or pause when they start to deliberate in early June, and that would widen further the gap between the policy interest rate of the Bank of Canada and the Fed, which is already quite wide by historic standards.
as I say, when things take place here in the U.S., it impacts like other parts of the world. So even just with this announcement, with the 50% on the steel and aluminum, this article is going into just some of the, with the impact. And how it's going to affect Canada, because we receive a lot of like steel, aluminum from Canada. So it's going to definitely impact the job market over, for the Canadians. Let me see. What are we saying? The election. An election platform, Prime Minister Mark Carney said he expects as much as $20 billion in tariff revenue this fiscal year to help offset the impact of additional expenditures for his ambitious plan to boost Canada's economic growth potential. So with these tariffs going into play, that's going to definitely impact that, because with the tariffs been in place, it's going to result in like the companies, say over here in the U.S., thinking long and hard about thinking long and hard about whether or not they want to pay that tariff or not. So if you can get it here in the U.S. and save on the 50% tariff, then that's what people are going to do. That is what people are going to do. They're going to move around. They're going to try to save money. Kansas Mama said, bringing the industry back to America. I can dig it. I can get with it too. I'm not mad at. I mean, I feel like it's definitely, a good thing to keep the money here. I think, it's good, to encourage for companies to do business with other fellow American companies with keeping the work here in the U.S. So I'm not mad at that at all. But we just have to get ready for just, the impact that's going to be had as a result of this change, because it's going to impact many businesses. Businesses that, let me see, be impacted by the steel tariff. U.S. Let's see. So a lot of business is going to be impacted by this. Let's see. Let me see. Find a good one that talks about what I'm looking for. So, for example, automotives, the doubling of tariffs will increase the price of steel used in the vehicle production, potentially leading to higher prices for consumers and impacting the industry's competitiveness. So, with that being said, we could look to see an increase on like the vehicles, because they need the steel and aluminum to make the vehicles. So, for companies who do get that material from outside the U.S., they're going to have that 50% tariff if they're going to still continue to want to do business with those countries. And in turn, likely they're going to attach that cost onto the consumer, which means it's going to increase the cost of the vehicles. Let me see how the of steel. Vehicle sales. Okay.
Solange says.
Okay, so let me show you this. This is how it can impact vehicles. So this is what I came across. CBS News, tariffs will slam car sales and productions, analysts say.
Trade war is also bad news for some American auto workers right now. Stellantis says it is temporarily laying off 900 workers in the Midwest. Now, that's the company behind Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Lana Zach has more on this part of the story from Detroit.
This is where I work.
Myra Ziegler-Moore has worked on the line at Stellantis in Michigan for more than 6 years and is a member of the United Auto Workers Union.
I take so much pride in being able to make these vehicles.
She is currently on medical leave and in an earlier round of layoffs learned she would be losing her job at the end of the month.
Thank you.
Tell me what that was like.
It hurt. It hurt. But I have to pay bills. You know, I have to have a place to live. Me especially, my medical, you know, having hip and joint replacements, being a breast cancer survivor.
And now with President Trump's 25% tariff on imported cars and parts in effect, additional layoffs are coming. In a memo to North American employees, Stellantis announced the company is, quote, continuing to assess the medium and long-term effects of these tariffs. The automaker is temporarily laying off 900 employees at 5 U.S. factories in the Midwest as a result of pausing production at some of its Canadian and Mexican plants. The Motor City Sports Bar and Grill is the watering hole for one of those American plants, Warren Stamping. Nearly everyone here works for Stellantis.
Are you worried that these tariffs, even if they were good for the auto industry, that it's going to mean that it's going to cost more when you go to buy things?
Yeah, it's going to affect a lot of the small people.
People are worried.
The fear is they could be bigger,
Yes.
they could last longer.
Always. Anytime you hear a layoff, bigger and longer is definitely something that we think of.
And in a statement, the president of the United Auto Workers Union, Sean Fain, took aim at those cuts, saying that Stellantis continues to play games with workers' lives. Now, you know, he hasn't always been supportive 100% of President Trump, but he is supportive of this tariff plan. He says that it is a step to end what he describes as the free trade disaster. Tony.
Lana Zach in the field for us. Lana, thank you very much.
The indictment of two cryptocurrencies.
So keep in mind, this article was April 15th. So this was going off of just the 25% tariffs on steel. Come June 4th, that 25% is going up to 50%. So layoffs were happening at 25%. The Trump administration recently announced tariffs on the U.S. car imports will deal a serious blow to the automakers, according to a new analyst that said the levies could lead to the sharpest decline in vehicle sales since 2008 financial crisis and the 2020 since the 2008 financial crisis and the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. If American tariffs on foreign cars remain in place, vehicle sales in the U.S. are projected to fall by 700,000 this year. Keep it in mind, y'all, remember, this is going off of the 25% tariffs. This article was from last month in April with the announcement of 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. Today, I am informing you that come June 4th, the tariff will go from 25% to 50%. So keep these numbers in mind, because that just means it's probably just going to exacerbate, make the numbers worse than what they're being projected based off of the 25% tariffs when it comes to these companies, layoffs, vehicle sales, everything. If the American tariffs on foreign cars remains in place, vehicle sales in the U.S. are projected to fall by 700,000 this year, S&P Global Mobility found. Auto production in North America is also expected to decrease by 1.28 million cars, the research firm estimated. The latest S&P report confirms what industry insiders and experts like us have been saying for months, said Patrick Anderson, the founder of Anderson Economic Group, which have studied how the tariffs will impact the auto industry. This level of tariffs will result in a significant drop in auto sales because the higher prices will directly affect the ability and willingness of consumers to buy cars. The Trump administration on March 26 announced 25% tariffs on imported vehicles and auto parts. Tariffs on passenger cars and light trucks imported into the U.S. kicked in on April 3rd, while White House officials have said a levy on imported auto parts is expected to be deployed by May 3rd. So we are here, and it's now, worse than what it was before, because this article was from April when it was about the 25% tariffs. We are now talking about 50% tariffs. We're at 50% right now. So, any of you in the market for buying a vehicle this year? This is what you can expect. Definitely expect an increase, likely, on that cost of that vehicle. But maybe you can research in advance to see what makes get their steel and aluminum from someplace outside the U.S. So therefore, if you do business with a make that buy a make that where the vehicles are made in the U.S. and they do not deal with importing the material in, then that might save you some coinage. So you just have to do your research. How the increase of the steel at 50%. Let's see. You just got to do your research. We are in the time where you got to do your due diligence more so than ever before you go outside and go shopping. Got to do your research, because someone has to absorb the cost of the tariffs, and I assure you that the makers, these businesses are not going to absorb the cost. They're not. They're going to put it on the item, the product. So U.S. to double tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to 50%, Trump says. President Donald Trump announced the U.S. will double its current tariff rate on steel and aluminum imports from 25% to 50% starting on Wednesday. So that's June 4th. Speaking at a rally in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Friday, Trump said the move would help boost the local steel industry and national supply while reducing reliance on China. China has been inserted into the chat. So you all know, like, the U.S. and China have been going back and forth from what the U.S. last communicated to us a few weeks back. China and the U.S. have a deal to where we charge, we have a 30% on imports coming in from China. And I think they have a 10% import assessed on U.S. goods entering into China. So that was just a deal that they came to for just 90 days. And I think at the time when they came to that deal, 90 days, I think would take us to August. So Trump is still working out ways in which we can kind of do without the need of relying on China, which I'm not mad at. I think we should, we shouldn't be dependent on other countries for just much of anything, I feel. So Trump also said that the $14 billion would be invested in the area's steel production through a partnership between the U.S. Steel and Japan's Nippon Steel, though he later told reporters he had yet to see or approve the final deal. So Trump out here, he talking about some deals, but nothing's been inked. They're just kind of in discussion right now. There will be no layoffs, no outsourcing whatsoever. Every U.S. steel worker will soon receive a well-deserved $5,000 bonus. Y'all see that? $5,000 bonus. Trump told the crowd filled with steel workers, and racist apply. So, okay, $5,000 bonuses for steel workers. We got any steel workers in the chat? $5,000. One of the major concerns from the steel workers about the U.S.-Japan trade deal was how Japan would honor the workers' union contract, which regulates pay and hiring. Trump began his remarks by saying he has saved U.S. Steel, America's biggest steel manufacturer, located in Pittsburgh, with the 25% tariff he implemented during his first term as president in 2018. Both sales and profits at the U.S. Steel have been falling in recent years. Trump touted the increase to 50% as a way to ensure U.S. Steel's survival. So he's like, listen, we got to take some aggressive measures. We have to take some aggressive measures. So how we're going to do that is we're going to increase the tariffs to 50%. He's got to get the work coming back in. At 50%, they can no longer get over the fence, he said. We are once again going to put Pennsylvania steel into the backbone of America like never before. Steel, U.S. steel manufacturing has been declining in recent years. And China, India, and Japan have pulled ahead as the world's top producers. So right now, China, India, and Japan are the world top producers for steel. And he was like, we got to change that. Roughly a quarter of all steel used in the U.S. is imported. And the country's reliance on Mexican and Canadian steel has angered Trump. The announcement comes amid a court battle over the legality of some of Trump's global tariffs, which an appeal court has allowed to continue after the Court of the International Trade ordered the administration to halt the taxes. His tariffs on steel and aluminum were untouched by the lawsuit. It is a good day for steel workers, Jojo Burgess, a member of the local United Steelworkers Union, who was at Trump's rally, told the BBC. Mr. Burgess, who is also the city mayor of a nearby Washington, Pennsylvania, expressed optimism over the reported details of the partnership with Nippon Steel, saying he hoped it would help breed new generation of steel workers in the area. He recalled making a lot of money in the years after Trump instituted steel tariffs in his first term. So they're trying to get back to the money. Although Burgess would not label himself as a Trump supporter and says he has only voted for Democratic nominees for president in the last 2 decades, he says, I'm never going to disagree with something that's going to level the playing field for American manufacturing. But so far, the impact of Trump's tariffs have largely led to global economic chaos. Global trade and markets have been upended, and cracks have formed or widened in relation between the U.S. and other countries, including some of its closest partners. The levies have strained relations between China and the U.S., the world's two biggest global economies, and launched the countries into a tit-for-tat trade battle. That is what we're in right now. It's on record that there's like this 90-day agreement between China and the U.S. when it comes to these trades. Because remember, Trump had tariffs at 145% on for all imports coming in from China. So after, the Chinese president and President Trump kind of came to the table to making an agreement, it lowered the 145 tariffs to 30% tariffs. And then it had the tariffs on the U.S. as far as for imports into China being down to 10%. So this was just for 90 days. That's the last that was communicated to the U.S. from the Trump administration as far as tariffs as it pertains to the agreement between China and the U.S. So my, like we get ready. This is where we are at. The tariff wars. Again, how long do you all think we will be sitting at the 50% tariffs on steel and aluminum, because Trump, you know, he changes his mind. He changes his mind. So how long will it take before he changes his mind and it's no longer 50%, whether it goes up or goes down? Change, as they say, is inevitable. And Trump definitely shows that to be true. So yeah, these changes with the tariffs will definitely impact the cost of autos or anything with centered around steel and aluminum. You should see a negative change. Yeah, change. It's change is definitely here, whether you're here for it or not. It is here. It is here. So that's on that. A lot of updates. Immigration, 50% tariffs taking effect June 4th to everybody, not somebody, but everybody. So just kind of stay tapped in so you're in the know. Do your research before you go outside shopping. So it'll help with the sticker shock when you go into these establishments to make your purchases. And, you know, they may hit you with, well, hey, the prices are what they are because of tariffs. Don't cuss them out now. Listen, don't be cussing the person, the salesman, the saleswoman out, because now it's about some most hundreds or thousands of dollars on a product because of tariffs. Listen, it is what it is. Like, share, and subscribe. Listen, I just come to just bring the information. I don't make the news. Like, I come to report it. Y'all like the video, like, share, subscribe. Thank you all for tapping in with me for another episode of Walk and Talk, as we talk all things politics in the USA. It's going down. It is going down, and it's just not in the USA. It's going down all across the globe. It's going down. Go out into the world. Show up in a way in which you want others to show up for you. Take care of yourselves and one another. Heavy on the taking care of yourselves. Do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for someone else. But definitely do something nice for yourself. It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day outside. Take a walk. Do something nice. Do something that'll make you feel good. Because right now, I've shared a lot of information, and not feel good information, probably mostly. But I think for people, like, as far as with like jobs and the steel, like, I think it's good news for them. But again, one of the workers, they point out, like, well, what happens with our unions and things like that? Like, will that still be a thing with the new deals that Trump is talking about with making with these companies who are agreeing to produce the, you know, with the steel and aluminum here? They're like, okay, are we still gonna have our unions? Because it helps, you know, to protect our jobs. Like, what we doing? What we doing? So you all, I will continue to stay tapped in and bring the information back to you all. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It's been another wonderful live. I thank each and every one of you. I am Chic, and I welcome all of you who are new subscribers, returning subscribers. I appreciate you all. I welcome your comments. Make sure you have your notification bell on so you know when I go live, because it's real impromptu over here. So you want to make sure you have your notification bell on so you know when I go live. I go live most days, not every day, but most days. But yeah, we get to it over here. Protect your mental health. Do something nice for yourself. Figure out what it is that makes you feel good. What is some healthy things that you can do to take care of yourself, your loved ones, because right now it's a lot going on. And it can be very, very taxing on your health, on your body, when your mentals, when it starts breaking down, the body starts to break down. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourselves, making sure your mental health is intact. Make sure it's intact. I appreciate any types of supports. Become a member. Become a political honor student. Memberships are $2.99. Priority reading of comments. Your names show up in a pretty color. But yes, anything, you just kind of get first dibs. So become a political honor student. But by simply just subscribing to the channel, you are becoming just an honor student. I affectionately refer to my subscribers as honor students because we are lifetime learners. We ask these questions, asking all them questions. We're seeking out answers. Listen, we need to know. We needs to know. We want to know what the hell going on. And that's what it's about over here, just understanding what we're up against, so we kind of know like what our next move need to be. That's basically what this information is centered around, just making you aware so you can move accordingly. Dr. J says press the $ emoji to the right of the chat for details. Thank you so much for that. Yes, yes, very simple. You can, press that $ emoji, sign up for the membership. Mental health, Dr. J says May is mental health awareness. Dr. J, another content creator, she talks about things centered around with the education and as just everything that's going on right now. Dr. J, please share your link to your channel in the chat if you are interested in learning more centered around just the education and just the impacts of everything that's going on and how it's impacting education. You can follow her because her content is heavily centered around education. She gets into the education piece. We talk about it a little over here, but we don't get to it like Dr. J get to it. So if you want to know more about just education and just all these changes and how they're going to impact your babies, or maybe you as an adult who's still learning through the education system, listen, follow Dr. J. She'll share the information to you, information that you need to know. You need to know, because if you don't know, child, you just out here pissing in the wind. So you need to know what's going on. So that's why it's important to follow, tap in, listen, hear out what the different your favorite content creators have to say, and even those who you don't really rock with like that. Still move around, see what they talking about, see what these people talking about, because it's just about just becoming informed. That's what it's about. Richard Speaks is the realist. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you, y'all. We get to it over here, and I want you to do the same. Each one teach one, right? Each one teach one. It's a beautiful day today in the neighborhood. It's Saturday. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Be safe, and I will catch you on the next broadcast. Peace.